Hey everyone, welcome back to Open. We welcome our next guests, co-founders of Freedom Studios, a media company specializing in both scripted and unscripted films, as well as online content. Known for producing groundbreaking, thought-provoking, and uplifting projects, Freedom Studios is dedicated to creating content that sparks social change. And here now, to share more, we welcome co-founders of Freedom Studios, CEO Julia Carias-Linares and COO Meiling Macias-Toro. Hello and welcome back.
Yes.
Thank you for having us here.
Yes.
I love when we're able to reintroduce you to our viewers.
Thank you.
In a different light.
Right.
Actually, in an expanded light, I'd like to say, especially what I think we had you on pre-pandemic,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's been a minute.
It's been,
Yeah.
wow, right? So how time flies.
Yes.
And in that time, so much has been accomplished.
Yes, we've been busy.
Yes, which is why we haven't been able to get you on, right? Since we came back in studio, but we have you on now. And so let's just start first with Freedom Studios and its actual evolution. Because I believe that when we had you on, it was like the birthing of it.
That's
Right.
true.
Right?
Yep.
That's right.
So who would like to go first? Julia?
Sure. So at Freedom, we launched Freedom, one, because we love working with each other. We've been friends for many years. Actually, I started mentoring Mayleen's daughter, and then Maylene started mentoring me, and then eventually we became really good friends, and we did a project, and we realized that we actually love working with each other, and, we said, let's as a safety net to the project, because now as content creators, you kind of have to think as a business person also. We decided to launch Freedom Studios in case no one bought that project. And from that, we realized that we wanted to work as entrepreneurs and create the content that we wanted to create, because we wanted to create stories about our community that are often not, told as we know, as Latinas.
Right.
That's correct.
Yes.
Well, I was in the advertising space, and I think I was getting kind of like jaded of selling products. And I mean, of course, we need the products for everything that we do, but I wanted to tell stories that made a difference. I've always been a volunteer for this, a volunteer for that, helping, girls go to college through 100 Hispanic Women, as you know. Been visiting orphanages with my husband through Goya Cares. And it's just been, a life of purpose. So why not tell stories now that help the purpose, and affect social change? So that's really one of the reasons why I really wanted to go into the space of content creating.
That's beautiful. And it seems like this episode's theme is going to be purpose, because I think it's important for us to amplify that, because there's something to be said when one goes and looks at themselves in the mirror and they're able to see and look deep into themselves and recognize that what you're doing is really to leave things better than you found them, which is my favorite saying.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
100%.
And so it's challenging, though, sometimes.
Oh, 100%.
You're my girl, so I know. We just got informal.
That's
and
right.
so,
You got it.
right, but because the balance of understanding that there is a business that needs to be run.
That's right.
But by the same token, this is the way I want to do it. And so that challenge comes from, well, obviously, it needs the finances behind it, and that's where the commercial market comes into play, and then there's the figuring out how to not shortchange yourself.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I know this has been quite the task for both of you. And, Julia, I know what are you running, like 3 companies now?
3 companies. Right.
But we will talk about JCL, because JCL is now in the digital media platform, which is brilliant.
Thank you.
However, let's talk about Dear America first, because it's had quite the tour, and it seems to be expanding in its messaging. I want to talk more about the timing of it. And please do share with our audience a little synopsis around the film.
Sure. So, Dear America, a letter from Black women. It's the story of the contribution Black women have done here in the political system for the United States. And often those women have felt unheard. They don't participate, not because they don't want to, in the policy making. So they show up for democracy, they go out and vote, they go out and bring their families and their communities to vote. But when it comes to talk about policy, they're often told to sit down, don't speak, let us handle it. And I thought when Chanel Barnes, the executive producer, who is also the CEO of Project Ready New Jersey, a nonprofit organization that activate voters, came to us last year, which it was like record time for us, because how do you create a documentary in less than 9 months, right? Came to us.
And why less than 9 months? Was there a timing factor involved?
We wanted to have it, right before the elections, because we just thought it was definitely a tool to create a conversation, to help activate civic engagement within the community. So we also wanted to have a movement so that we could see what people were saying, see what people were asking for and not getting, and affect policy change, or at least have data on what is it that's going on in our communities.
Right, because the film is attached to a policy agenda. So it's not just a film for entertainment purposes and historical purposes, but it also has this piece that for us was really exciting because it aligned with our mission at Freedom Studios.
Got it. And you did, right? It's just unfortunate that it's being utilized for different purposes
in a different way now.
Yeah. Right? Because
Absolutely.
it still matters. If not, it probably matters even more.
You have the local elections, so
midterm elections.
Local elections matter.
Are even more important, if I must interject.
Exactly, and we've learned a lot through this process. We've gotten more political information than we probably, thought of ever getting through this process. I mean, we had Martin Luther King III in this feature. We have his wife, who's the president of the Drum Institution in Georgia, and
Dr. Beverly, Latasha Brown, who's the founder of Black Voters Matter. We had the first Black feminist, Dr. Beverly Sheftal, who was the founder of the Women's Study at Spelman College. We had Hill Harper. I mean, we had some really prominent figures, but we also wanted to talk to the everyday American, to the youth, to the young people, and hear what they wanted from this, from
the administration.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
I'd love to give credit to our director, Dana Offenbach, was amazing to work with as well, along with Chanel, who wrote the piece, guided us through the editorial process and everything else, and we produced it. So it was definitely a love affair of women
and a collaboration
that collaborated for this film.
And so it's a full length.
Yes.
And I understand you have a short version as
we
well.
also have a short version.
However, it's the full length that's circulating, right? So what are people going to walk away with, right? Like, how do we encourage people to really make it their business to see films like this?
Yeah, I think that the message is often historical, right? So this is what's been going on. Even we were talking in the green room, and we were, Meiling brought up how Black women walked with white women during,
The suffrage movement.
Right. And they knew that they weren't going to get the vote, but they knew it was important. Yeah. So we hope with this film that, one, people embrace that history and give these women credit, but also hoping that they become civically engaged and participate. It is important more than ever to be informed. Look through different outlets to get your information. Don't rely just on one. And hopefully this is a film that inspires and gets you excited again to go out and participate in your community.
Now, before we move on to the next topic, because, we're doing It's a Freedom Studio segment.
Thank you.
Because you shared how important it is to be involved with your local voting systems, where can people see this now and understand how vital it is to be activate it?
100%. So go to the dearamericaproject.com website where you will be able to get listings on the different pre-screenings, but also signed up to be part of the 100,000 women and allies that we're trying to bring for the policy agenda. So go to www.
What is the policy?
Is everything from maternal health.
All women.
All women,
related.
yes, all women related, but specifically for Black women.
Yeah, mental, maternal health, the
pay
pay gap that we have. I mean, it's also related to Black and brown,
right?
You know,
all marginalized,
marginalized communities.
Got it. So, all right. So that is the documentary film, right?
Correct.
And then we have this new project. Woo, Julia!
Yes.
Very clever, I might add. Right. So we've got JCL Staging, which is a company you formed with your husband.
Correct.
Right, and you stage properties, and so now you have this new series called. Fix Mi Casa.
Fix
Mi Casa.
Spanglish in the mix.
That's right.
All right, and so share a little bit about this because it's a digital project.
Right, streaming. We have a streamer that's on board. So yeah, you know, again, I'm always trying to think as a businesswoman, how do I promote, you know, my different businesses in a way that it's also telling a story. And so we just basically started, you know, just filming our work. We were staging, and after the pandemic, there was no need to stage because people were leaving the city, which was primarily where we were doing a lot of our business. And the
Renovated my basement,
Right.
I must say. Okay.
There was that huge.
You were the guinea pig?
She was. And a couple of
I
friends,
love it.
yeah. But then with the pandemic, we realized that, you know, we needed to pivot, right? What do we do if we're not getting business through staging? So we started renovating and going to friends' houses. And
people wanted to see new spaces.
Right.
You know, you're home, you're stuck at home. I had to work from home. So it was like, okay, let's start fixing different spaces. And, you know, she still tries to fix all my spaces anyway. But but they're good at it.
Yeah.
You know, they're really
I think people love watching that too.
yeah.
We love transformation.
Oh, once I see like, you know, any of those home show channels, I get stuck on it, you know?
Yes.
So why not them? Why
Right.
not, you know, a Hispanic couple?
Absolutely.
So I came to Meiling and I said, May, like, what do you think? Because we have been pitching the long, you know,
Right.
form show. And of course, you know how it is in this business. And I come from this world, right?
Yeah.
I did a lot of
Oh, we
reality.
hear a lot of no's
Right.
before we hear
And
yes.
it was like,
That's
you know
for
what?
sure.
Yeah, so again, it's creating your own opportunities. And I said, let's do the short form. And when we started engaging one of the distributors, he said, wait a minute, you have some short forms. Don't put them on YouTube. Give them to me because we are going to engage products to come in as sponsors. And so that's how that happened.
Yeah.
That's how we do it.
That's how we roll.
And you know, and thank you for sharing all of that because I don't think people understand the legwork that is required in order to get your content not only picked up, but to have some say over the matter, right? I'm into autonomy, right?
Right.
And that takes extra work. I mean, obviously you can't have all of the creative influence, but you can certainly negotiate that, right? And this is how it starts.
100%. You build your audience. And I always tell creatives out there, because I worked in the network side, I bought shows, I was in programming development, and I see how long it takes to get a show off the ground from, you know, conception all the way to broadcast. And the best way, I mean, with today's technology, we can pretty much do anything. And that's what I did. I would, you know, sometimes hire a cameraman to follow us. And sometimes I would just take my phone on 4K and shoot it. Yeah. Or I'd be like, Maylene, you know, so that I can
you're
focus as
available.
a
Let's
designer.
go.
And you build your audience, and then you can negotiate a better deal.
That's definitely DIY in all the sense of the word.
Yeah, but you know what? That's also, that to me is it's entrepreneurship at its finest in this field.
Right.
Right? Because there's entrepreneurship in business and then there's entrepreneurship in certain genres and respective excuse me, fields in which if you don't understand the logistics, kind of just wandering, right? And I'm saying this just as a means of, like, there's nothing wrong with making money off of your product.
Oh, 100%. You have to be a business person. You know,
that's the goal.
I always tell creatives, we always tell creatives, you have to have a business in mind. You never want to be that struggling artist forever, right? And you have to put your hat on, make sure that you know, sign your contracts. It's okay to go back and renegotiate. You know, you don't have to accept the first thing that comes through. And also think about, how do you market what you're already doing in a way by utilizing the technology and storytelling. And that's what we're doing with JCL Staging and Design. We saw a void in the market. We also wanted to help people, and we decided to create Fix Mi Casa.
I love it. I love it. And, you know, it's got the sabor, the flavor,
Latina, yes.
and it's DIY in all its
Yeah,
forms.
that's what I meant to say.
100%.
Oh, yes, me and ladies, we're out of time.
Oh,
I know,
yes,
I
yeah.
know. But that's okay, because I'm going to have you back.
Yes.
Yes. We have to do a progress report,
Yeah.
because y'all are doing
Absolutely.
some amazing
Yeah,
work.
thank you.
And
Thank
we're
you.
happy to have you here
Okay.
sharing it with our viewers.
Okay,
So
great.
thank you. Thank
Of
you
course.
both.
Yeah,
Once
of course.
again,
Well, let us
Julia
know. What's
Carias-Linares, CEO of Freedom Studios, Meiling Macias-Toro, COO of Freedom Studios, executive producers. Again, we were talking Fix Mi Casa, Dear America, and we've got more projects we're going to be discussing on another show, another day on another segment. All right, but for now, you can go visit them at freedomstudiosinc.com. Stay tuned. Our Open Artist Spotlight is coming up next.